What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com. We are the app marketing agency that's going to really help you growth hack your app downloads. Today, I want to talk about your go-to-market strategy. And here's a presentation that I gave at the Founders Institute in Sacramento. Mariah does an amazing job of finding the right entrepreneurs and really guiding them through the entire startup process, from marketing to raising money to creating a corporation and going to market. This presentation was well received, so I wanted to share the same exact presentation with you guys with a little bit of extra just for you. So let's get to it. Here it is, go-to-market planning. I'm going to share with you my favorite strategy for going to market. Now, this applies to whether you're a SaaS product, an online business, or an app business. That's why you guys are here, but it applies to all sorts of businesses. And this is the one that I deploy to start AppMasters on my own, or even my other business, CopyMasters. So you guys gotta check it out, copymasters.co. Shameless plug. All right, here it is. A hint for you guys. This is the bottoms up strategy. So I like to start with the audience that will quickly say yes, that I don't have to convince you that much, right? If you talk to potential users, there's going to be a ton of objections. So I'm going to try to find the audience that has the least objections. And that's what this bottoms up strategy is all about. This A is the ones that you don't have to convince anymore. So for me, it could be you guys in the YouTube audience or the podcast audience or people who've already known me. But the way I define this is my A group is going to be people who don't have a whole lot of budget, but need to growth hack their app downloads. That's not to say that I don't have a D of really big companies that I work with. I do. I've got a lot of notable companies that I work with, but still, the people that I don't really have to convince that they need me are going to be in the A group. The D, I'm going to have to convince them a lot more. Trust me, I learned this the hard way because I try to go after the Ds. And I found that it was really hard to convince them. There's so much more competition here with different app marketing firms and all these other things. And people want to see like maybe even bigger teams and bigger budgets and all that stuff. And I found my sweet spot to be right here, the A's and B's. So the first step is, who's the audience that will quickly say yes to you? That just by sharing your knowledge with them, they're more likely to work with you. I hear this all the time, especially from people who are starting to launch a social network or even dating, for example. I say, who's in your audience? They say, everyone. This is not your audience. Find the audience that is so niche. That's why it's bottoms up, because it's small at the very top. Find that audience first. Remember, the biggest companies started small. Facebook started just in Harvard. Uber was just a black car before there were Uber Eats or even any type of cars were allowed. It just started with the black car in San Francisco. So even the biggest company started with this bottoms up strategy, started really small. Next step, really simple. Now that you've really defined your target audience, where are they? In the beginning for me, it was Facebook and LinkedIn groups. Now, I already had the luxury of starting the podcast while I was doing it on the side. And so I built up this built-in audience that already knew me, but not everyone's ready to hire me. So I started creating more and more content and posting this on LinkedIn groups, on Facebook groups. And in the early days, I got so many of my early clients because they saw me being so active in these particular groups. And all I was doing was sharing really good content. The other thing that I don't want you to forget is Reddit. I've been talking a lot about Reddit recently, but I love Reddit. It's got a built-in community. So what I'm trying to find are built-in communities that have my target audience. That's why I'm showing you LinkedIn, Facebook, and also Reddit. Find the right community that's already going to be engaged. It could be Quora, it could be Stack Overflow. Wherever your target audience is, you want to be there, really engaged and sharing good knowledge. Lastly, go talk to them. Notice I didn't say go sell them. Go talk to them. And here's what I like to do. I like to ask a lot of questions. Too many times when we're talking to our target audience, we try to sell them. We try to talk way too much. For me, I like to ask questions. Tell me about your app. Tell me about your business. What are you struggling with? And then I can understand what their concerns are and also tell them how I would solve those particular problems. After you listen to them, then you educate. This is the best thing that I can do. On all my sales calls, I really try to give one tip to my potential customer, one tip that they can use even if they don't hire us. That's what I really try to do in every call I get on, whether it's a potential sales call, whether it's just somebody who needs coaching, whether they don't have any budget. I just try to educate. And that's the number one thing that you can do, because what I'm trying to do is, obviously, if they're not going to work with me, which the likelihood is, the averages for me are going to be most likely they're not going to work with me. They'll leave thinking, man, this guy is really good. He knows what he's talking about. And also, if somebody else that they know needs help, they'll refer me. So always try to educate first and foremost, because the best way to sell somebody is through education. All right. The next thing you want to do is show some social proof. Now, if you're just starting out, leverage the social proof that you have from previous companies. So in the beginning, for me, I would say I've interviewed a ton of people on my podcast, but even before them, I would say I ran growth for a startup in San Francisco. I built the first ever photo and video platform. Whatever you can use to leverage it, because that's going to really help out. Your potential customers are looking for any indication that you're legit. Besides just talking to you, and hopefully because they're talking to you, you gave them a warm, fuzzy, cool feeling, but you also got to back it up with some social proof, because they're going to think about reasons not to work with you. So you're going to have to give them every reason to drop these little hints in there that you're legit, that you're kind of a big deal. All right, guys, that's it. Super simple 3-step process on how to go market with any idea, whether it's an app idea, a SaaS idea, online business, wherever it is. That is the approach that I've taken with all my businesses, and I continue to take with App Masters. Trust me, I've learned the hard way, trying to go after the big pool of users. Really focus on the niche first. And once you built up the social proof, then go after the big guys, because even the big guys are working on a budget. So if you can sort of focus in on this narrow, don't worry, everything else will fall into place. That's my belief. It's happened to me. All right, guys, that's it. Hope this was helpful. It was a little bit different from the normal app stuff that I've shared, but I want to share more broad marketing stuff and entrepreneurship stuff with you as well. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the next video. Check out the top video if you want to see our no-brainer launch strategy for your app, and click the bottom video if you want to see the most effective app marketing strategies. And don't forget to hit subscribe somewhere right here on our logo. Peace out.